Hello guys, my name is Shiv and I'm from India. Basically I belong to Uttarakhand. And today in this video I'm going to tell you that how can you teach English to your kids. Because I've seen many times parents are complaining like your kids are not speaking English. All the time they are using their own mother tongue, and English isn't trend nowadays, and especially when it comes to school, you have to have the knowledge of English, right? So if you want to teach English to your kids, so I'm going to tell you these very simple tips and tricks which you need to follow in systematic manner on daily basis in order to teach English to your kids, right? So are you guys ready to teach English to your kids? If yes, so be with me and watch this video till end without skipping a single step. Nowadays, parents are so worried about their children because the children are not able to speak English as they are expecting from them. And that's why parents are applying different strategies, different ways to teach English to their kids, but still the kids are not able to speak English as parents are expecting from them. Why? There are many reasons behind it, because we know what to teach but we don't know how to teach, and how to teach is more important as compared to what to teach. No matter how educated we are, no matter how knowledgeable we all are, but if we can't teach English to our kids, everything is nothing more than a garbage. Am I right? So today in this video I'll tell you very simple steps that you have to follow on daily basis in your home that you can teach English to your kids in very simple way. First and foremost thing that I would love to tell you, if you really want to teach English to your kids, you need to create an English speaking environment around you, and that is how we learn English. I hope you remember how did you learn your mother tongue. I hope you remember how your kids are speaking in their original language. They have listened others, then they have observed them deeply, and then they started imitating to them. And this is how we all learn any language. Same rule goes with English. What I want to say you, I just want to say you that you have to talk to them in English. Whenever you are talking to them, just try to talk to them in English. You need to create a positive environment around them. You don't need them to speak like a native speaker of English. In fact, if they can speak a basic English that people can understand to them, that's more than enough. But how they can learn that level of English? It's possible. All you need to do is, whenever you are talking to them, just try to talk in English in very little sentences, very small sentences. Come here, go there, how are you, what is your name, like that, right? If you talk to them in English, definitely they can speak English as you guys are expecting from each other. And one thing I want to tell you, you need to schedule the daily routine. For example, if they wake up early in the morning, you have to teach them how they can greet in the morning. You have to teach them, say good morning. In the night you can say good night, good afternoon, good evening. All the small things can create a big change in their life. Next thing you have to do is learn English with fun. Learn with fun is the golden rule to learn any language. You need to create an environment where they can play games regarding English. Right? They can act like English speaker. They can involve themselves into any English drama. right? You can ask them to imitate someone who is an English speaker and ask them to act like him. Acting, drama, playing games are very effective exercise that one can follow in order to teach English to their kids. Right? Now, next thing is you can ask them to take the name of things in English. For example, if you ask them to bring a vegetable, just tell them what is the name of that vegetable in English. Don't say aloo, rather you can speak potato. Don't say tomato, ask them please bring that tomato. Orange, like that. If you are going somewhere, if they are saying any horse, you need to say this is a horse. Don't say ghoda. Alright, so these are some small things that you need to follow in your daily basis, and I'm sure they can just learn English within few days. Alright, now next thing is that help of blocks. I hope you know about blocks. Blocks are some small square boxes, right? And you have to tell them just bring A. So they would find A out of all those blocks and they would bring that A in front of you. And you have to appreciate him. Good, very good. Now bring 1, right, for counting. Like bring 1. So they would go and they would pick up that 1 number block out of all those blocks and they would come in front of you. So this is how you can take the help of blocks, because in this way they are enjoying this exercise. They are enjoying bringing those blocks in front of you. At the same time they are learning, right? Now next thing is that you can show some English video to them. For example, you can show some English cartoon, you can play some story in English, you can play some reels in English. Moreover, I've seen most of the time nowadays kids are really habituated and fond of watching reels. All you need to do is you have to download those reels where the characters are talking about English. Alright, just download them and ask them to watch those reels so that they can enjoy watching reels, at the same time they can learn English. Right, now next thing you can do, visuals. What is visuals? For example, you can show them some flashcards. You can show some physical thing. For example, you can bring a spoon and you can ask them that what is the name of this thing. They would say I don't know, so you can say this is a spoon. What is this? Spoon. And at the same time you can just bring some charts, English things named charts, and you can ask them with the help of pointer stuff. You can just tell them that what is this, and you have to show them, and you have to take the name of that particular thing that you are showing to them, and this is how they would able to identify the things, what is those things all about. All right, and they can remember visuals for a long time. Whenever they would come across the same thing in front of them, they can easily take the name that this is umbrella, this is a spoon, this is car. Alright, so this is a very easy way to enhance your basic vocabulary. Now next is English books. For example, you can ask them to read comics, English comics, because nowadays kids and childs are really fond of reading comics, right? At the same time, you can ask them to read some fairy tale books. You can ask them to read those characters' books to whom they love to watch. They want to act like them. So ask them to read their books. But make sure whatever books are you providing to them, all should be in English. Then only they can learn English as you are expecting from them. Next step is you can set a daily routine of teaching English to them. I'm not saying for 4 or 5 hours, 2 hours, no. Even 1 hour is enough. But you have to give this 1 hour on daily basis. You have to fix the time that from 4 to 5, from 8 to 9, you have to have your English classes. Alright? And during those classes, all you need to teach some basic things. For example, your introduction. You can create a proper syllabus for them, that name of fruits or name of colors, like that. And you can ask them to repeat some basic sentence like, what is your mother name? What is your name? What is the name of your school? In which class do you study? These are some basic sentences that you can teach to them in those classes, and this is how they can start the journey of learning this language so easily. Alright? Okay. Now, next thing is that teach them some basic vocabularies. For example, name of fruits, name of vegetables, name of colors, name of days. For example, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now, name of months like January, February. Now, name of things which you used in your home on daily basis. At the same time, you can ask them to learn some basic vocabularies like what means kya, no means nahi, yes means ha, that means waha, this means yaha. This is how you can train them to learn basic vocabularies which we use in our daily basis. Alright. Next step you can follow that you can ask them to sing some English songs, because entertainment or recreation is something which kids love a lot. Right. So you need to ask them to sing some English songs. You can ask them to narrate some English story. You can ask them to recite some poems, rhymes. These are some small exercises that teachers also do in their school, and they also involve themselves into these exercises along with kids. But being a parent, you need to do it in your home as well. Try to give time to your children, because if you not give time to them, they would not take interest as you are interested in their English. So spend some quality time with them and try to provide every single step which is really necessary to learn English. Next step is that you can buy a whiteboard. I hope you remember in my previous videos I have taught you in whiteboard as well. So a whiteboard is something like kids love a lot. They want to write everything in whiteboard. You can provide them a marker if they are so small, so you can provide some chalks, because whiteboard comes in both quality. Either you can use your marker, at the same time you can use chalks. Depends on your need, right? And the age of your kid. So whatever you have learned so far regarding English, you can ask them to write in that whiteboard, because once they start writing in whiteboard, they can remember the spelling as well. They can able to write everything whatever they have learned so far, and they will take interest in order to improve their writing. This is how you can improve 3 skills. First, you can improve their writing. Second, you can improve their English basic vocabularies that you have taught to them. Third, you can improve their memory. They can remember the things for a long time. Now, next thing is, I will say, modern technology. You can use modern technology. Nowadays, internet is there, projector is there, computer is there. You can take help of anyone. For example, in projector, you can show some slides regarding English. What is this? Apple. Now, change the slide. What is this? Mango. Now change the slide. This is how you can teach them. And with the help of computer, ask them to operate this computer and tell them that what is the name of this particular thing. And internet is the biggest source of knowledge nowadays. It depends how can you use it in your life for the sake of your own productivity or your kids' knowledge, right? Now, next one is you have to remember that if you are speaking and they are not understanding, there is no use of speaking. For example, I'm speaking right now. If I'll speak in English only, so those who understand English, they can easily understand me and they can follow those steps. But what if someone who doesn't know how to speak English, they can't understand English, so they can't follow those steps, alright? So bilingual in the class is really important. If you are teaching to your kids, try to be bilingual. Because being bilingualistic, all you can help them to understand the facts and concerns whatever you want to provide them. If you speak only English and they are not acquainted with this language, they can't even understand you what exactly you are going to teach them. So you can use Hindi and English, both language, while teaching, because language doesn't have any boundaries, any limitation. It doesn't matter how they are learning, the only thing which is important is they should learn. Right? Now, the next thing you can follow is you can ask some open-ended, small questions to get a right answer. Open-ended, small sentences question. For example, what is your name? He will tell you your name. Do you want this? He will tell you the answer. You can say, where is your mother? Right? Do you want to drink water? Right? So they will reply yes, no. At least they can understand what exactly you are speaking. Though they are not speaking the whole sentence, okay, that's fine. But you are going to train the brain, the mind, that they can understand a mechanism of this language. You are going to change their psychology. Like this is how an English speaker speaks, and you have to reply in this way. And this is what you have to do in the initial stage. Because you don't need to impose a burden of this language on them. Otherwise, they would be tired and they would not take interest to learn this language. Alright. Now, next method you can follow, you can take the help of translation. That means if they are saying something in Hindi, you need to translate the sentence in English and you have to tell them. For example, if they are saying, क्या आपको पानी पीना है? So you have to ask them, do you want to drink water? If they are saying, मुझे orange चाहिए, so you have to ask them to speak the same thing in English. How would you say in English? In this way. Alright? So if you ask them to translate the same sentence in English, and you would provide the item or the thing that they are demanding from you in their own language, Hindi, and once they are able to translate that sentence in English, and you would provide them item to them, they would feel so happy. In this way, you are going to develop a mechanism in the mind that if I would say something in English, or I would ask my mom to give something in English, definitely she would provide me that item or that thing, whatever it is. Right. Now, next step is you can teach English to them with the help of phonetics. or phonic sound. For example, A, E, O, E, O, U, like that. So, for example, you have to say apple. So you have to say apple. So you have to train them first this sound, a sound, a, then apple, cat, fat, mat, rat. This is how you are going to train them that how can you pronounce any English word correctly as it should be pronounced. And nowadays in modern schools, teachers are applying this method of phonetic. Right? They are teaching them vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U, and then consonant, the rest of 21 alphabets. Right? Though this is a very long syllabus, that is IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, but this is something which advanced. But on basic, you just need to tell them 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and then 21 consonants. They know very well, like rest of the 21 sounds are consonants, like P, B, C, S, T, right? Okay, now after this, you can take the help of, ask them to read aloud while completing their homework. If they are doing their homework, ask them to read whatever they are writing in their notebooks. Mostly I've seen when kids are doing their homework, they don't pronounce, they don't read, they don't spell, right? If you will make their habits, like whatever you are writing, read aloud, because once they would involve themselves into writing and then they would read, definitely they can remember the things for a long time. They don't need to learn those things separately. In fact, they can complete reading, writing, pronouncing, and remembering at the same time. This is how you can teach your kids how they can remember things for long term. Right? Next thing you can say, you have to allow them to make the mistakes. I've seen many times what parents are making mistakes when their kids are doing something, and while doing that particular work, if they are making mistakes, so they are scolding them. Don't scold them. This is how you can generate a negativity in their mind, right? Rather, if they are making any mistake while speaking English, or if they are writing English, allow them to make mistakes, and in the end, you need to tell them about their mistakes, like this is what you have written incorrectly and you need to rectify it. Tell them what is the correct spelling of that, tell them their mistakes, correct them, and motivate to them that they would not make that same mistake again in future. Right. Now, next thing is, you can just use some English speaking applications. For example, there are many applications which are available in Play Store. Just download those applications. There are two types of applications. One where you would find there are many speakers where you can speak English with them, alright? And second application where your kids is the one who have to speak with that application. If your kid will say, "How are you?" the application would reply, "Yes, I'm doing great. How about you?" So then your kids has to reply, "Yes, I'm doing great too." So this is how you can train them in a very different way, and they would love to involve themselves into this kind of learning, right? Next step is, whenever you are teaching to your kids, make sure you have to be quite sensible. Be calm, relax and compose. Keep your mind into center and use your voice modulation intonation. Your tone should be very polite. Don't be harsh with them. For example, hello bro, how are you? Hello, how are you doing today? Do you want to take this? Can you please pass me that pen? If you'll talk in this way with your kids, they would love to talk with you in English. They would enjoy the process of talking with you. Alright? Okay. Now, next step is you have to praise and reward them whenever they are doing something good while learning English. You have to motivate them. You have to show some appreciation from your side towards their good work. For example, if they are coming with some homework and they have done so good, and you have to give a good, or you can draw a star in their copies, in their notebooks, so that they would get motivated that yes, I have done some good work, that's why my mom gave me good or star, right? Physically you can do that. You can just make a tap on their shoulder. That's very good. You have done a very good job. Keep doing this, try to improve more, and you can give some positive feedback to them. So this is how you are going to motivate them in order to keep working the same way as they have been working, right? So I know the steps that I have suggested you are really easy to speak, but at the same time it's that much difficult to follow. But the one who is so dedicated, determined and passionate to teach English to their kids, they all can follow these steps in a simple way, in a systematic way on daily basis, and I'm damn sure within 1 month you can see a massive changes in your children's. Alright, so apply this basic easy tips and tricks in order to teach English to your kids, and give your feedback after 1 month, like all these tips and tricks are really working or not. So I'm done with my all points that I have in my mind regarding teaching English to your kids. If you guys have anything else for me, you can write it down in the comment section. At the same time, you can approach to us my Telegram ID, and moreover, whatever suggestion, feedback and question you have regarding this video, you can ask me. And moreover, I want you guys to watch my videos on a continuous basis and click on subscribe button, like button, share this video among your friends as much as possible who are really inquisitive as like you, and don't forget to click on bell icon in order to get notification of my upcoming videos. So thank you all parents and everyone whosoever are watching my videos, and keep talking, keep learning, keep teaching, keep sharing, keep shining. Wish you all the best for your bright future and English journey.